Welcome to the EIP apprenticeship call. This is the first call of year 2022. So happy new year to everyone for this wonderful year. And thank you for joining the call today. As some of you may know that generally in these calls, we go through some of the pull requests that are already existing in EIP's GitHub repository. And if you come across any questions, you can always ask. We have Matt Gannett, who is one of the lead EIP editor. He would be answering questions while explaining the process, and we can follow along. So yeah, over to you, Matt.
Hello, happy new year. Let's see what we've got going on today. 40 notifications. Oh wait, sorry, what is this thing? That's not related. Okay, 40 notifications. I've kind of been going through this a bit here and there, so I don't think there's a whole lot of things to do. But we'll just start here. Um, 721 ERC20 compatible transfer.
I just noticed Michael, just wondering if you are XOR on the Discord.
Yes, that's me.
All right, Michael. Thank you so much for joining the call. And if you would like to take a moment to introduce and let us know your interest, just for everyone to know here, Michael is interested in ERC editing, and currently Light Client is helping us with that. Michael.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Michael Blau. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to help out with the ERC editing, specifically around NFTs. I know you mentioned on Discord, my name is XOR, X0R, and that's sort of like my alias, an NFT artist name that I use.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely excited to be here and learn more about it.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, I was about to start asking questions about this EIP, but if you have other things to mention, go ahead.
No, I see a couple of new names. So just for their information, I wanted to let them know that in this call, we generally go by the proposals which are already existing in GitHub. And if you have any question, or if you have already looked into any other proposal, and if you have related questions, please feel free to chime in.
Great. Okay, this person wants to implement the transfer function on ERC 721s, which does not, wait. Yeah, it only has transfer from. I guess this doesn't make sense for 1155. Because, well, I don't know.
Not as much, just because.
Why does it not make as much sense for 1155?
Sorry, I have that bug also where my mic will be a bit weird for like the first couple of minutes I'm talking. Sorry, what did you ask about 155s?
He wants to implement this transfer function, and I'm thinking this also would make sense on 1155. No, like to me, 1155 is just another NFT standard with more functionality.
Yeah, the concept does, but the problem is that the 1155s have the additional amount argument, whereas 721 20s have the same number of arguments in transfer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to make a function which can be like kind of bat from both sides of the plate, as it were, Like you can call it from a 721 or regarding a 721 or from a 20.
Gotcha. I think this title doesn't make any sense. 721.20 compatible transfer.
I mean, it's a transfer function that's compatible with both. I do get what he's getting at.
I get what he's getting at, but he should put ERC there if he really wants to.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, Scott is abstract motivation. I don't know. Should this require ERC 20?
The truth is, I mean, one or the other, like either both or neither, I suspect. That is a good wait. Actually, maybe the contract is supposed to be an ERC 20 contract, though. I'm not sure.
Replicate the ERC 20 transfer with just a minor change to accurately reflect that a unique token ID rather than a fungible sum is being sent.
Where's that? That's in the rationale.
Yeah, so normally it's the transfer is to an amount, and now it's to token ID. But the name isn't hashed into the interface, so that's fine. I think I'll just merge this anyways, because it looks acceptable other than the title, and I'll just enforce that he changes the title before he moves to like review or something.
Makes sense to me. And Ross, like I know Ross just like crypto Twitter now. He's a
Okay.
solid dev. He knows what he's doing. Like, you know, I read through this also. I thought it was pretty well put together. Like I'd seen
Yeah.
his rationale also. Like the idea is basically just being able to have contracts that are able to use the same functions to either call 721 or 20 without needing like two sets of functions for
Yeah,
it.
makes sense. Alrighty. I don't think these things are going to merge. Been having problems merging things. So I'm going to leave that tab open, come back to it. All right, what does Micah want to talk about here? There exists a standard for mainnet.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It
Doesn't
just feels
Loathe
really
have an
weird to
E
me.
at the end of it?
Oh, sorry.
Doesn't Loathe have an E at the end of it? Yeah, it does. Can it be
I
spelled
think
without
that's
the E?
that's an informational EIP, right?
Oh, it can be spelled without the E. Am I spelling things like an English
I think it was an
person?
informational EIP,
Yeah.
but it feels like if we're going to finalize an informational EIP around how to use the term mainnet, we should adopt it in the EIP repository. I don't know.
By the definition, informational EIP, there is nothing that we need to follow as a mandate. That is the definition of meta EIP. For informational EIP, as for the like description provided in EIP 1, people are free to ignore if they would like to, but it's good to have a standard. I do agree to the point that if we are using mainnet in this particular fashion everywhere, that will help us make a standard. But at per the present definition, I don't think it's a mandate.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think it's weird that we're finalizing things and then not using them. Like, I really dislike this part of the EIP repository. I think that if something's final, it should be used in practice rather than quote unquote a standard. But it's a battle that we've lost. All right, this one, unfortunately, is not, I think, going to make any progress. So basically, oh no, sorry, this is different. Oh no, this is Micah asking to change this. I don't think that this can be changed. Like, I think.
I think that's kind of its own like standards based kind of war because it made it to final with that in there. But like, first of all, it's not enforced anywhere. Like if you take a look at OpenZep 165 implementation, for instance, they don't enforce that it only uses 30,000 gas.
Yeah.
And it probably shouldn't be in the EIP, but it's already final. So it's like kind
Yeah.
of its own thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I would be okay if we included information about it, but I don't like fully removing it. I would like to acknowledge that it existed. So yeah, I guess I will just sit there. Semi-fungible token.
Which one was this? 635.
I don't think I've reviewed this one yet.
Oh yeah, I don't think I seen this one either. I was like looking around on Sunday. I must have missed it. I'm almost certain we've seen other standards with this exact name though.
Yeah. Preamble looks good.
Transformation.
What is semi-fungible mean?
Yeah, I don't see it being defined here, but I suspect they mean that it's a fungible ERC20 type token that can turn itself into a non-fungible token, but I'm not certain.
Just it's like defeats the purpose of the term fungible. It's either fungible or not fungible.
Like fractionalized ERC 721s are a thing, like creating fungibility within the non-fungible token. And of course, there's like the great pedantic argument about if you have two NFTs with the exact same metadata, is it now a fungible token or not? But it's like a pretty pedantic argument. Like I'm debating, like if we're really going into like full language nerd sniping mode, I've thought that it probably would have been better to use the word discrete as opposed to fungible.
Yeah.
But then again, they call DAOs decentralized autonomous organizations. So, I mean, it's hardly the worst acronym in the space.
What do you mean? They are decentralized autonomous organizations.
Which one? Like, which one? Like, most of them are like these manual things with a central authority that's just like a dictator over a bunch of people who are contributing work to it.
No, I'm just kidding. I
Okay.
definitely agree. They should
There-
just
there was
call
a-
them Gnosis multi-sigs.
In general. I really do try to be nice on crypto Twitter. There was someone who had a tweet though asking who the best DAO leaders were. And it was just kind of like, come on, please.
That's hilarious. I love it.
The language here is a bit hard to follow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and just figure it out from the spec, I think. So we have, so that's when value tokens of SFT are minted. Operator to indexed token type. That's for semi. So there's that token type thing again. For all semis from one type of SFT. Must have known what token transfers. Transfer. Operator must be reduced from it. So I mean, basically what this is doing, it looks like, is it's adding a second. I mean, if you take a look at an ERC 721 token, it's kind of a ledger of ownership of token IDs. So it looks like it's adding another kind of series of indexes that could be owned, which are like the, I think that might be the SFT type. Like more than a bit confused myself though.
William, just checking, like, do you think it would fit to the case that we were discussing in while we were discussing about EIP 721? Like, if you make an NFT which is one of n, is it fungible or non-fungible? Then, like, that can be a semi-fungible category.
I mean, I think linguistically you've got a point there, but I don't think that's what the author of this standard is doing. Sounds like the author of this standard has like a fungible token that can automatically be transformed into an NFT, like as in a token ID in a 721 contract. Though, I mean, there, I think it might depend on your, I don't know about definition of fungible, but like kind of your ambitions for how fungible something non-fungible should be. Like $1 is usually the classic example of something that is fungible, because $1 equals $1 and it doesn't make a difference which bill you have. Whereas William Entrican would tell you that it is actually non-fungible because the serial number will be different. So then you just get into like the linguistics argument about how fungible you want your fungible things to be, or how non-fungible you want your non-fungible things to be.
Yeah, I was just trying to, like, understand this proposal with respect to that. Like, is semi-fungible here means that kind of status for a token.
Something like having a voucher that's currently fungible and it can be traded against or exchanged against another similar voucher that has similar kind of properties. And once you redeem that, it converts into an NFT and loses all its face value. That might be a generalization, but I think
that's what this standard is doing, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to guess that because I kind of read that the proposal. So it seems like that would be a good, not a good use case, that would be a use case. Or something like let's say you're attending a concert and you have multiple tickets, right? Everybody's allotted tickets and these are being traded before the concert starts. And as soon as the concert starts, now it has to be redeemed in order for you to enter the concert. And now it becomes an NFT and you own that NFT, something like that maybe.
Why would you need, I guess I don't understand why the transformation, or even really what the difference is. Like, what's the difference in what I own before and after the concert? So
there you can actually trade those vouchers or coupons and earn some money from that, right? That might be the idea.
You can also trade NFTs though.
You auction the NFTs, right? You really can't trade NFTs. I can't put it on a DEX.
Why not? Because they are currently, the 721 is not fractionalized by default, right?
if I'm
But
getting,
it shouldn't need to
yeah.
be fractionalized to trade it. Like I could put it up for sale. I can offer to swap it for something else. Like
But I can't have a trade pair on an exchange with an NFT, right? I cannot have a ERC 721
Right.
against it.
That would require a smart contract. So you would stake the NFT in a smart contract,
Correct.
which would
Okay.
then mint the ERC20.
a trade pair is also generally a smart contract owning an asset, though. Like I guess what you're saying is before the contract it should be an ERC20 and afterwards it should be an ERC 721. But I guess I'm failing to understand why either of those should be axiomatic. You could sell tickets as ERC 721s, and
True.
you could have mementos as ERC 20s.
I'm just trying to do a little bit of guesswork there.
Yeah,
really don't
I
understand,
don't. Yeah, I don't mean to like try and cut you down for it either. Like you might be right, but if that'd be the case, then I'd just kind of say about the entire EIP that I don't really understand, like the point. I guess I don't know. Is there anywhere in the entire EIP where they define what an SFT type is? Also, like I'm a bit confused by that. Like they have this thing called an SFT type. That's an argument. It's an argument in a number of places in the specification. Like whenever they're dealing with these like semi-fungible token. So one of the arguments will be token type, which is a semi-fungible token type. And I don't see anywhere here where they actually define what that means.
I assume that it was like ID from 1155.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
And
it's
if
like,
that's the
why
case-
rename it? It's
Yeah.
unnecessary.
And if that's the case also, then I guess the whole standard would be just a single contract, which has both a 721 and an 1155 in it.
What's
Which
the
is
point of the
possible.
operator.
So operator is something that you get across a lot of ERC 20, 721, 1155 things, which is it's like the message net sender. That way you know who's creating the transaction or who's causing the transaction to happen, even if it's not their assets, like even if it's just something they were approved on.
But like, why are they not using message.sender? Because I can just like, how are
It's
they
an
verifying
event
this?
that would almost for sure. So that
Oh, I'm
you
stupid.
trust the
This is an
contract to
event.
do it.
It's not a function.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
but
like
still,
you'll
so
see a
the
similar
move-
thing in like 721 or 20s or 1155's events. Oh wait, but you're right. They're using it in the functions also. That's a
yeah. To
mistake.
be fair, I was looking at the events. I didn't realize that was not a function.
Yeah, but you are right. They are also using it in the
But like, I don't
functions.
understand why you would use that in a function because that should be message.sender.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I should delete this. Also, these parameters are just wrong. Like there is no owner parameter on this function.
Oh. Which is interesting also because that means Solidity won't compile. Because the NAT spec won't let it compile if it asks for params that don't exist in the function.
Is the semi-fungibility or whatever that term is it more focused toward the gaming industry maybe? Not sure. Like I might have a couple of hammers, like 1,000 hammers, ERC20 hammers, and you might have ERC20 10,000 shields. I might want to trade those, and then when I use it in the game, then I'm basically redeeming those or whatever I have.
It's
Does
a
that make-
possibility. It's a possibility.
But even so, 1155 should satisfy the use case, right? So why is there?
Yeah.
Right.
But regarding the argument and the comment, isn't the comment coming first before the argument? So did you not look at it the wrong way? So did not the comments match the arguments here?
I'm sorry.
So I think you made a comment about the argument not matching the comments, but the comments come first and then the function header. So did you not? Or
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I see
miss?
that. You're right. Good point.
I thought I saw one that actually didn't match up though, but I might be wrong. Data. Operator token type approved. Operator token type. Operator approved.
All right.
I see your concert ticket sentence now. Missed it before at the end of motivation. And it's basically so that you can assign non-fungible details to a fungible token, turn it into an NFT in the process. I'm like, I don't know. Practically speaking, though, even the concert idea, it's like kind of hard for me to grok from an engineering perspective. Like, I definitely don't want to make it sound like I'm an authority on Solidity. But if it were me and I wanted to record the unique seat number and owner name, I would just use a struct, initialize them with 0 and an empty string, and then have the ability to set those properties later and keep it as an ERC 721 straight through. Because anyway, you're going to need to do that. Like, why have it be a fully fungible like ERC 20 in the beginning? Am I?
On a slightly separate note, I see a comment in chat by Alpha Key about the EIP proposal validator. I'm not sure if that can be a good enhancement on the present EIP bot. Maybe Light Client and Shashank, you guys can take a look at it now or later on.
Sure.
I moved on to a new one. Which one is this? 4610.
What's the point of a delegator if it can't do anything?
So it could be that front ends would recognize a delegator of a token and see, like, check if there's a delegator and then let them do it. Let them, like, you know, treat them as a owner of the asset or someone who can utilize the asset. But and at the same time, if that is the case, that means that I think we've seen two different implementations of the same thing in other EIPs. I don't know if any of them have ever been merged. But it seems to be a bit of a recurring concept. I feel like one of them was actually. Give me a second.
Yeah,
while
I
I check.
vaguely remember.
Like a
Yeah, if you find
user,
it, let me know.
you know, one that like specified a user or something. ERC withdrawn. Let's take a look at this. Assemble asset. Though the first one I find over here is assemble assets into NFTs, which I mean, trust minimize upgrade quality. Share. Your C721 editions, was it this one? I know that's something else. Oh, consumable. I think it's this one. Give me a second. Yeah, 4,400 actually is similar. I mean, obviously there are some differences. I have some big technical questions on this implementation, which is he overloads the safe transfer from function, but never specifies what the canonical safe transfer from should do. At least that I see. As in, like, let's say I call the regular safe transfer from with arguments
does
from
it
to token ID.
Forward the delegator, or does it not?
Right. So like that's why he has his overloaded function, but what happens to the old versions?
Maybe
then?
he doesn't realize that that doesn't actually overload the old function
Yeah.
because it has different interface.
Arguments. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to comment those things on there.
I can do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can do it.
I'll let you take care of that one then.
I'll mention 440 also. For 4,400.
I see this one interesting proposal which is already merged, so probably it is not in the pull request anymore. The EIP 3668 by Nick Johnson. That proposal is in last call and it is an ERC which will enable access to retrieve off-chain data.
Mhm.
Sounds like an interesting one.
Well, there's not even a view function here for this system. I'll throw that in.
So we have got just 15 minutes left. As a reminder to everyone, especially to the new people who have joined here for the first time, if you have any question related to the process that you think is not covered in this call, probably it was covered in some of the other calls or somewhere else, you can either ask us here or join us on the ECH Discord, the EIP editors chat. Feel free to drop in your questions or concerns there.
All right, submitted.
Nice. I hate that this didn't get merged.
Wait, what is it? I'm only
And
looking.
it's just like, I forget, we were on some call and we were trying to share screen and Tim was like, why is it so hard to read this thing on the EAP site? So then he made a PR to bold them. And I approved it. And then Micah said this should be a style sheet update and it died after that.
Excellent.
And here's Dean's EAP that never progressed. Joey. I'm pretty sure this should auto merge. I don't understand why this isn't auto merging. I'll close it.
Oh,
Oh, because there's maybe a spelling error. Yeah. Maybe it'll auto merge now. Are we about there?
Oh, there's one that's not showing up in your queue. I actually submitted one for bumping 2612 to review.
Was that the one, the wall? Oh, wait, 2612.
That's token permits, like ERC 20 token
permits.
permits.
Did I not?
Oh, you have
request one a
comments
second ago?
there. You requested 15 minutes ago. I must have been on another screen and I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so yeah, I'll try and do that.
Yeah, sorry, I just like mobbed through a couple of those PRs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the thing with like these older ERCs that like didn't push for final, like they're still on older templates. So then like once they start moving
Yeah.
forward, then all of a sudden they have this like backlog of just like modernizing the EIP. What's this, Nick Johnson's?
I don't think so. This is the meta proxy standard. Cool. We did it.
Excellent.
I guess we can pop through the PRs and see if there's anything that we're missing. Doesn't look like it.
Cool.
Sweet. I don't know, we got 10 minutes. Anything we want to talk about?
Party.
Right. So yeah, I was wondering like if there is anything in specific that you think that newcomers can consider. Like we went through the process, you especially highlighted which sections to look into. But do you find anything different from the review perspective for the core EIPs or the ERC's EIPs?
I think we try to hold core EAPs to a higher standard than ERCs. There's a lot of reasons. I would say, partially there's not as many people reviewing the ERCs, and I don't understand the application side of things as well as I understand core, so it's harder for me to give like really solid feedback. There's a lot less core EIPs that come through. It's easier to focus on those and give them a fair bit of feedback. But I think in an ideal world, we would give an equal amount of feedback to both of them.
Right, yeah. I mean, we have been seeing that there are like quite a handful of proposals which are coming up every week on ERC category. And yes, it would be nice to have reviews. Some of the projects implementing those proposals are coming forward to review. So yeah, if this new group, if they are interested and they would like to, provide some review on that side, it would be interesting to keep the important point in mind. All right, anyone else has any question for today? I mean, I understand sometimes it can look monotonous and just looking onto the screen review work that Matt is doing. But the questions, if you have, it's important to get answered so you are around to keep looking into the different proposals. All right, in that case, I think we can give this 5 to 7 minutes back to everyone to prepare for next call if they have any. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope to post the recording today, sometimes today, and see you all in 2 weeks. We are planning to keep these calls in the interval of 2 weeks, so we get enough time to review the proposals in the meanwhile. And yeah, of course, we can discuss if there is any question, comment that we would want to get answered by EAP editors. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Matt, William, and everyone.
Thanks a lot, Pooja.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody.
thanks, Ben.
Bye all.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.